Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at Ride 5, which is the 5th installment in the series. This particular game came out on August 24th, 2023, and well, it offers you sim/arcade racing experience. Now, from a get-go, this game actually requires a 2080 as a GPU, so to be fair, the bar is set pretty high up. I'm not sure about what resolution that's meant for, but we do have 4070 Ti. So in general, this is probably for someone who actually wants to just ride a super bike. Now, I've never driven one, so I have no idea how they act and how to actually play the game, which is specifically designed and tailored for a racing experience. Now, the one thing I would recommend this game for, if you can get it for cheap or for free, is Isle of Man TT Challenges, which is essentially, if you don't know what it is, go to YouTube and surprise yourself. It's a whole island. Once a year, all the bike enthusiasts actually gather there and they just go through that particular island location, high speeds, high corners, and essentially it's a race which some people might frown upon because there's been some casualties due to excessive speeds, up to 330 kilometers an hour or 7 gazillion in American. I don't know about miles per hour, so don't ask me. So without further ado, let's have a look at the settings. Now, obviously we're going with the 4K native, no windowed mode, no vertical sync. This game only supports FSR, there's no DLSS option available. Also no support for Intel GPUs. Resolution scale is 100% and frame rate limit is set to 120. Now, the reason for this is the variable frame rate kind of gives very interesting results on this menu, which is starting from 25 frames up to 34. Currently we're at 53, but surprisingly the game itself runs way better. Looking at the graphical settings more in depth, we're going with the ultra preset, so everything is as it is. So you can see anti-aliasing, anisotropic filtering, reflections, motion blur, all that jazz. So without further ado, let's just try to go and play something. So we're gonna do a career, and yeah, I have no idea how to play this game, so this is going to be a little bit of a weird one, but it's more about measuring the performance of 4070 Ti in 4K Ultra. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is. So I think we're gonna just try to fail this race. I have no map knowledge of any of these races, so we're just gonna go in blind and see how it goes. Also, the game does get pretty loud, and there's quite a few interesting things in regards Steam reviews, because some people say, who have played Ride 3 and 4, that the engine sounds are the same, the physics are wrong and stuff like this. But you know, end of the day, if you're here just to have a feel for a bike and have a good time, also you can play a split screen with your friends, probably this is something you might want to look into it if that's something you want. Now, for me, I'm kind of ready to crash and burn and die a lot, so, you know, this is pretty much becoming a theme of my channel. So let's just start the game and see where we end up. Obviously, we're going with the easiest difficulty, so we'll see how it is. As you can see, the first person look is pretty interesting. We do have a lot of assists going on at the moment, but at the same time, I wouldn't say this is a MotoGP, but it's pretty close to it. Also, if you don't use beginners settings, you're probably gonna crash in the first corner. Now, at the very beginning, the game actually gauges your preferred difficulty level, which is usually a beginner or / assist mode. You do have reduced throttle control, you do have increased stability control and stuff like this. So essentially you cannot crash unless you really try. Now, obviously I went ahead and decided to just take it all off, and as you can see, it's not going well. And the reason for that is it's very hard to gauge the speed of the bike, because the only baseline you have is literally just kilometers per hour or miles per hour in the bottom right. In comparison to the driving games, you are usually used to seeing cars having, you know, kind of expected speed versus turning radius. In this game, it just doesn't exactly work. Nor I have any idea if this is how superbikes work in real life, because if you cannot take a corner at 19 miles an hour, like, then what's the point of driving the bike? Then just get a car. But okay, now jokes aside, this is the whole point. And as you can see, the performance of the game is actually pretty good. Once we actually get out of this corner, so you see on the bottom right hand corner there's the brake fluid reservoir, and the liquid is actually sloshing to the direction we are leaning the bike. So to be fair, there are some realistic aspects in this game. Now granted, I highly doubt you can actually bend the bike at 20 miles an hour fully flat 90 degrees, but you know, it's just how it is. Also, I do believe my control scheme might be a little bit off, because braking with this bike while driving kind of feels like I'm only using the front brake. I don't use the rear brake at all. Maybe there's an additional key binding for it. But honestly, I know, and I do have some people who say that MotoGPs in general, they have pretty good stopping power. You know, it's meant exactly for someone who's driving over a liter of a bike and they need to stop quickly. So yeah, you know what? I'm probably gonna be tumbling more than once, but this is the whole point. You can have a look at the performance down there, and I'm just gonna slowly go through. Concerning for ultra settings, we're pulling 7.9 gigs of video memory, 7.7 of actual RAM, and CPU usage is actually where we want it to be. And we're still getting above 60 frames. So to be fair, despite the requirement of a 2080, I do believe if you have anything similar to it, or even below, I would actually say if 2080 is the recommended, you can definitely get away with a 1070, to be fair. In full HD, maybe not ultra settings, but medium to low, you should be absolutely fine. In regards to the physics engine, I don't know. Since I don't drive superbikes, I cannot say for sure, but it feels a little bit weird. Maybe that's, you know, the thing of it. I do hope that some of the superbike owners actually will correct me if I'm wrong, because the maximum amount of bike I've gotten on is a 500cc one, and I can honestly tell you it was nothing like this. So I don't know, maybe the more power you have, the more careful you need to be, or the more skill you need to have. Who knows? Definitely not me, so don't quote me on that. So we actually are, well, not even the last, which I believe is a good thing. But overall, this is the game for those people who actually want to drive a bike in a game. And it offers a split screen and a co-op. Well, co-op for split screen. So end of the day, you know, it's not a bad thing. Now, granted, I would definitely tell you, if you're a previous ride owner and player, read the reviews first. You probably will get more information than I have. But in terms of performance, honestly, this is pretty playable. Unfortunately, I do not have the skill for this game, nor I will actually play it, because this is simply not my jazz. But I think it's a good thing that games like these are coming out nowadays, because it does fill a niche outside of the car racing games like Dirt or Grid or anything else in between. So yeah, I hope you found this a little bit more educational just for the performance, and please drive better than me. And on this note, I'm gonna leave you to it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Over and out.